Good morning, guys. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I had a great weekend with some family and friends. It's been wonderful. However, had I not had such a wonderful weekend, the news I found yesterday would have been a huge blow to me. But because I was in such a good mood, I was able to deal with it, and I'm still dealing with it. In case you're wondering, it's a situation that many Americans are dealing with right now as well. So it doesn't really make my situation that unique, except for the fact that I have dealt with something similar before. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, I am referring to the Equifax credit breach. I'm sure many of you watching this are probably affected by it, whether you like it or not, or even whether you have been aware of it. If you do not know anything about this, I strongly recommend you educate yourself on this matter because it's serious. And if you are someone who does not have credit monitoring, fraud alerts, different things like security on your accounts, you really need to look into this and protect yourself. And the reason why I emphasize protecting yourself is because I had an issue years back where I was not properly protected and I had information stolen from me. Someone used my information and tried to take money. They did take money from me. Luckily, it was only a few $100s. My bank was able to help me prove that it wasn't me that tried to access a loan and get this money. So anyway, I was able to get it taken care of. But other information was taken from me that has messed with my credit over the years. I just recently was able to fix mine and my husband's credit to where we were at a good point that my husband was able to get a car loan all on his own without a cosigner. We've had to have cosigners. Luckily, my family has been very gracious in helping us with that because they knew our situation and it was kind of out of our control. We have had an issue with fraud when trying to get a loan. We lost money on that and we did not get it back. And I feel bad because a family member that tried to help us also lost some money and they were understanding as well. Anyway, and before, I've had another family member that has been affected by, identity theft. So it's a scary thing to have to deal with. Back to this Equifax credit breach. Like I said, you need to go to the Equifax website and check to see if your information has been compromised. And that's what I did last night. I should not have waited because they are allowing people to protect themselves, and you can check to see if your information's been compromised. You can get credit monitoring for free and all this stuff they're offering. Now, I did have some protection on my accounts already and on a couple of my credit cards. I do have credit cards, I know. I usually try not to use them, but anyway, that's for another video. As of right now, though, I'm just kind of in limbo right now thinking like what's gonna happen. I've already found that my credit has been affected. My husband, thankfully, his has not, and he's the one with the steady income at the moment. I do have an income, it's just not steady, and I can't count on it. So when we get a loan or anything, it has to be in his name. So as of right now, I have to see if this is going to affect me in getting into school. My fingers are crossed, and I've been praying that this opportunity will not be taken away from me because this is a huge opportunity that's going to affect the rest of my life. And this will affect me starting my career. I mean, I know it sounds silly, I'm starting my career so late in life, but I'm still alive, I'm still breathing. I'm gonna do this. And no matter what, I'm gonna fight for this because this is something that I want, I really want for my, not only myself, but for my family. So I'm going to take charge and I'm going to deal with the situation. unfortunately for some people, they can't, nor do they have the resources or the background or education to deal with this matter if they have been affected. So I would strongly recommend, if you have the option to check to see if you have been affected or if your information has been compromised, you might want to think about calling a local bank or anybody you know that has some expertise on the matter, and just see if you call your bank, they may actually, or call a local bank, whichever, they may have some advice for you. They may be able to point you in the right direction. They may be able to just give you the help you need. But I wouldn't let it go. This situation is not to be taken lightly. If you let it go and don't take care of it, it could affect your future. You may not have any credit cards or loans now, but maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you're still young and you want to buy a house maybe in the future for you or your family, whatever. If you are affected by this breach now and it affects your credit, and you go to get a loan later on in life, you're going to find out that you may not be able to have that mortgage or whatever for your house or car loan because somebody has taken your information and used it and maybe ruined your credit for you. So I would strongly suggest taking care of the situation now versus just letting it go and thinking it'll fix itself, because it won't. Trust me. Been there, done that. Thankfully, we had somebody who pushed us in the right direction, and we let it go for a little while, but then we were told, don't wait any longer. You need to fix it. We were finally in a better place, and now it's just like we were knocked back again. But thankfully, my husband's credit is still okay, so we have that going for us. I have to work on mine now. In the meantime, I will be going to my school today. Fingers crossed that none of this has affected me. I think by now I would have been aware if it had affected me getting into school, because I have already received an award letter stating that I qualify for a grant and some loans. However, my application was flagged for evaluation, audit, whatever you want to call it. So I just have to take in my tax information, and basically I have to prove that I am who I said I am and that all my information matches up. I should have no problem because I have nothing to hide. I'm the one who applied. Someone else didn't do it for me. So we shall see how that goes. And I send out positive thoughts and prayers to anybody out there who has been affected by this credit breach, or if you've had any issues with fraud or identity theft outside of this issue. It's a very tough thing to deal with, and it's not to be taken lightly. You need to fight for yourself and fix it. Not just for you, but for the future of your family. If you are married and have children or whatever, you want to make sure that this sets a good example for everyone around you. So anyway, I will update you all later after my appointment today, hopefully, and let's hope for the best. I'm sitting here in my living room enjoying some time with my kids while my husband is out mowing a friend's yard. Hopefully won't have to do that much longer. So anyway, today went fairly well, and I worked on a project for my son, one of my sons for school, and I have some other things to take care of this week as well. We have scouts tomorrow night, so it's going to be a busy week. But I wanted to follow up with all of you on the whole issue with the credit and with my schooling. So everything is going okay so far, and I'm just going to sit tight and make sure that nothing else interferes. So for all of you that have not looked into this issue with the Equifax credit breach, I strongly suggest you look into it and make sure that you were not affected. So I hope all of you have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your week.